Qari, before you carry on, we did have a request from a few listeners that many are struggling with the pronunciation of the letter Dwad. So if there's any advice you can give to them.
The letter Dad is quite a special letter. The sound of Dad is not found in any other language besides the Arabic language. It's unique to Arabic. And for that reason, the Arabic language is also known as Lughatul Dad, the language of Dad. So it simply is that one has to take the time and go to somebody who is able to show and to evaluate the correctness of the pronunciation of Dad. So theory is one thing. We can talk about the makhraj of Dad and where the letter Dad emanates from in the mouth. But the essence of Tajweed is in its practice and putting it into practice and implementation. So that would require, and what is known as a Ustadh Hadiq, one who is, whose ear is trained and tuned for this purpose, and who is able to hear, the intricate difference or what may be wrong with the way the person is pronouncing the letter. So at the end of the day, if you want to correct the letter Dad, then you need to sit with somebody who is able to show you exactly how to do it. And it will take some practice. It could take a week or two before, of constant practice before one is able to pronounce the letter correctly. Because it's not an easy letter to pronounce. It's known that, many people pronounce the letter Dad from the front of the mouth. They place the front of the tongue or the tip of the tongue in the front of the mouth or the front of the palate, where the makhraj of ta and ta, people pronounce Dad from there. But that is incorrect. A trained ear is able to hear that it's coming from there. The correct makhraj of Dad is in fact the side of the tongue, known as hafatul lisan, the side of the tongue which rises and touches the gums of the molars and premolars only, while the front of the tongue remains loose and not touching anywhere. So there are three ways of pronouncing the letter Dad, either from the left side, which is the easiest manner of pronouncing it, using the left side of the tongue and touching it on the gums of the molars and premolars on the left side. Slightly more difficult than that is to pronounce it in the same manner from the right side. And what is most difficult is to pronounce it from both sides. So the tongue will be curving up on both sides, left and right, touching the gums of the premolars. It's known that Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu would pronounce the Dad in that manner. It has been mentioned that is how he would pronounce it. So at the end of the day, it takes the first point is that you need to be with somebody who is proficient and able to correct and listen to it and be able to evaluate how correct it is being recited. And the other thing is to make an effort. There needs to be a lot of practice in order to get the letter correct.